Is the S24 Ultra worth the price increase? $12.99. S23 Ultra was $11.99. Actually, I didn't see that coming. I thought for sure they were going to leave the prices the same. They've been the same price for the last couple of years, and I just don't really see anything there that justifies the cost increase, especially with the economy and everything going on. And, well, it's an expensive phone, right? So the S23 Ultra, best phone of 2023. We're in 2024 now, and we have the new phone. And I was watching a lot of stuff on it. You've got the AI stuff, which I do have my hangups about that. So the AI I thought was okay. There's some neat little things that you can do there. I think that the AI features and skill set and software are still better on the Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro, but this is a step in the right direction for Samsung. But in the fine print, all the way down at the bottom in the footnotes of the S24 page, it says that it's only free, the AI features, till the end of 2025, implying that they'll start charging for it after that. So that kind of rubs me the wrong way. But for basically 2 years, you get them for free, and they're going to add them to some other Galaxy phones as well. Of course, the S23 Ultra will be top of the line on that one, and I think it'll be pretty neat. But if you've got the S23 Ultra, definitely I don't think it's worth an upgrade. And I'll make probably a separate video about this later. S23 Ultra, it's so good. There were so many good deals this last year. So if you've got one, I'm just not seeing anything there that's like, okay, you have to upgrade. Over the S22 Ultra, there was a big difference because the Snapdragon 8 Generation 1 just wasn't that great when it came to heat, battery life, throttling, and this fixed all of that. So best battery life out of a flagship phone, I think, in 2023. Excellent gaming performance, excellent performance all the way around. So I don't really see a need there, but there are a couple cool things. So they added 7 years of operating system updates, 7 years of software support, same thing that Google did. I kind of figured they'd do something similar. I thought they would go 5 and 5. I think that's more reasonable, but on paper, if Google's doing it, Samsung wants to do the same thing. So with the S23 Ultra, it has basically 3 years of operating system updates left and 4 years of security patches, which is good. I think this phone will go the distance for that. 7 years, it puts us in uncharted territory because no phone in the Android world has been supported that long before. And I've got some phones that are 4 or 5 years old that are basically obsolete now when you take a look at what's on the landscape. So do I see anything that justifies the $12.99 versus the $11.99? Not really. They changed the camera up, and some people are not happy. You've got the 10 times telephoto on here, but they dropped it down to a 5 times, which, that's fine. I don't think it's the end of the world, but if you like the 10 times, you certainly don't want to get rid of it to go to the 5 if you are that into long distance photography. The 5 times, it's got bigger sensor, bigger pixels, all those different things. It's got upgraded AI characteristics for the camera. So I saw some side-by-side comparisons. It still looks pretty good. So the video is still top-notch. It's got a bigger, brighter screen. Well, I say bigger. It has a brighter screen. It has a little bit more real estate because instead of having the curved edges like we have on the S23 Ultra, it's got a flat screen. So some people might like that. So you get 7 years of operating system updates, 7 years of security patches, flat screen, brighter screen, Snapdragon 8 Generation 3. All of them start with 12 gigs of RAM now. And I'm really happy about that because I felt like we shouldn't have an 8 gig model of RAM when it comes to the Ultra phone. So 12 gigs of RAM, start to 256. Also, if you're interested in getting one, I have links in the description for that, and you can get all the cool deals. You can get the double the storage upgrade. So for the price of the 256, you get the 512, which is nice. They have a 15% student discount. They have, of course, military, first responder discounts, all that stuff. They have exclusive colors. And, well, if you use the link I have in the description, it gives you an additional $50 of Samsung credit on top of the 100 that you get already. And if you happen to do the reserve your pre-order, you get 50 more on top of that. So it's like $200 towards accessories. You can get a watch for relatively cheap. You can buy all the accessories and cases you want, minus the leather case. So I ordered mine. I got the purple one. I'm super happy about that. I love the leather cases. The leather case for the Samsung phones is my favorite, especially on the big Ultra devices. It got taken out of my cart because they were out of stock whenever I tried to order it. And I know a lot of people had trouble trying to order it. I did. It took me like 8 hours. Finally, I had to install Microsoft Edge just so I could go ahead and get it to go through. So that was frustrating, but thankfully I was able to get through. I know a lot of other people did as well. So if you're looking at it and you've got the S23 Ultra, definitely don't upgrade. If you have the S22 Ultra, I thought the S23 Ultra was a good upgrade just because it fixed so many problems with the battery, with the heat, and with the performance, no more throttling and things like that. It's got a bigger heat sink. It's got upgraded graphics, upgraded image signal processor, better for gaming. So there's a lot of stuff there that gives it the Ultra name. Plus, of course, you got DeX, you got wireless DeX, you've got the S Pen, and you've got some new stuff whenever it comes to the AI enhancements with the photography. So I think at $12.99, if you can get a good deal, it's still worth it. They've got $750 of trade-in credit at Samsung. Now, that looks better on paper than it did last year. Last year, they were giving like $550 to go from the S22 Ultra to the S23 Ultra, but it was the same price. So yes, it's $750, but it's $100 more expensive than last year. So it's basically kind of like $650 trade-in credit. So I think that's still okay, especially if you can get the $150, $200 of Samsung stuff to go along with it, get you a nice watch to go along with it, pay very little out of pocket, and 7 years of support. That goes a long way for a lot of people. And there's a lot of good carrier deals too. Those get overlooked a lot because a lot of people focus on the price, a lot of people focus on Samsung or Best Buy, but most of the carriers I've seen, they give the double storage, and you get up to like $1,000 trade-in credit with most of them with the best plans and, of course, with installment agreement and stuff. But a lot of people buy their phones that way. So I don't want to knock anyone who does a carrier deal because still the carrier deals are better than buying it outright from Samsung. And that's kind of a turn of events that we've had over the last 2 years where with the S23 Ultra and with the S24 Ultra, there's been some really good deals with the carriers. But you're going to be locked into an agreement whenever it comes to that. So if you can make it work for you, if you want to get a new phone, I think it's still worth it. It's just coming from the $11.99, I don't like that $100 price increase. Just like the Pixel 8 Pro, it had a $100 price increase. Yeah, it's still, I think, a decent deal, but when you take a look at coming up $100 for the Pixel, $100 extra for the Samsung phone this year, it's just another thing that's extra dollars out of your wallet and extra money that you have to pay. And I wish they would have kept the price the same. Even $11.99 is a very expensive phone, right? So you have to look at it and go, okay, is it worth it even at its current cost? And I think if you're in the market for one, if you're going to finance one and get the good deals on it, if you're going to trade in another phone, they had some really good trade-in deals for like the S22 Ultra, even the Note 20 Ultra, I think they were still giving like 500 something bucks for. So if you're in the Note 20 category, S21 Ultra category, I think they're great upgrades. S22 Ultra, I think it's a really good upgrade. So if you can make that work for you, then I think that it's worth picking up. If you're paying $1,200 out of pocket, $1,299, maybe the S23 Ultra might still be worth considering if you can get it at a discount or you can get a considerable drop off in price. And there's going to be some good deals on that too because they're going to want to push those off the shelves, especially at carriers, especially at other places. So I think the S23 Ultra is still the best value when it comes to the Ultra flagship department because I just didn't see enough there that really justified going that extra hump. If you can get one of these for, let's say, like $700-800, right? That might be a good deal. And especially if you can get some trade-in value towards that, if you can get a good deal towards your carrier. So those are things to consider, but it does look good. I like it, some of the changes they made. We'll see how the flat screen is. I've always been a curved edge advocate, but the way they kind of changed this and made it with more flat sides, you've got the flat screen. It's got the Gorilla Glass armor, or Victus armor, whatever it's called. That looks pretty good. IP68 dust and water resistance, all the bells and whistles. It's the best Android smartphone out of the market in the flagship category right now. So I think that there's some things to consider there. And I think if you're in the market, it could still have some value, be worth going ahead and picking them up if you're interested. And like I said, I've got links in the description for that. It'll take you there, and you can get that extra $50 of Samsung credit on top of what you already get, which can go, it could be a convincing factor for some people because, hey, maybe you wanted to get the watch, but you didn't want to spend that much. Maybe you want to get a couple of cases. You don't want to pay out of pocket for that. You can get a nice charger. It's got 45-watt charging still, which I think is a good balance. I think 45 watts, it charges fast enough, but it's not super fast to where it's concerning. You don't have a whole lot of heat issues. You still got wireless charging, reverse wireless charging. I really like the way the Samsung cameras look, and I've really enjoyed my S23 Ultra. So if I were not a tech reviewer, I would not be upgrading from the S23 Ultra to the S24 Ultra, but I know some people like to do year over year. Some people still have the jump plan with T-Mobile. Some people will go the carrier route. So if you're in that upgrade cycle of you've got a phone that's 3 or 4 years old, I think it's a no-brainer. Best phone probably to pick up, unless you can get a good value on the S23 Ultra and you don't care so much about the AI features. And they're going to come to the S23 Ultra mostly, if not all of the ones they've announced, probably I think in the second half of this year. So there's some of that stuff there, and of course, like I said, it does rub me the wrong way that after 2025, they're going to start charging for them based off of the statement with saying they're free only up until the end of 2025. So that's, I don't know, that's 2 years from now. I think that's a pretty good gap. I think it's a pretty good distance, and we'll see how it develops. I'm expecting that Samsung to put more into the AI features as we go along. We'll see if it justifies that price tag more, and if it's something that you would even want to consider paying for down the road, but we don't have to cross that bridge for 2 years. So that's kind of my thoughts in a nutshell. I wish it would have stayed $11.99. It's still a really good phone. It looks fantastic. I like the new colors. I love that new titanium purple color I got. So mine will be here, I think, around January 31st, which is when they're supposed to ship and start being available. So I'll take that, and we'll go from here. But I had some people asking, should you upgrade? Is it worth it? And I just wanted to talk about it because that extra price increase. Not a lot of people focused on that. A lot of people like to focus on trade-ins and sales and what you can get it for bottom line, but $12.99, I know there's people that are going to be paying that. If you're going to pay $12.99 out of pocket, maybe pay and see if you can get the S23 Ultra for $800 or $900. Save yourself about $300 or $400 and get yourself, I think, in almost every way, just as good of a phone. So that's all I've got for here. Going to go ahead and sign off. If you have any questions or comments, please go to the comment section. I'll do my best to get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, if you like this stuff, then please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.